Well, tonight we bring you a story about Bob Bodell from Soldotna. He says he was assaulted by a rookie state trooper after the vehicle he was riding in became stranded. But troopers say it was Bodell who became argumentative and combative. Investigative reporter Mike Mason began looking into this case back in March.
It was a cold Alaska night in January 2021, around midnight on the Sterling Highway in Soldotna, when Eric Haddock, his wife Katie, and their 71-year-old friend Bob Bodell became stranded. Bodell says Haddock was giving him a ride home when they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Haddock and his wife say they used their cell phones as flashlights, signaling in the direction of a house at the end of a dark driveway.
Didn't see anybody move or anything, just heard loud dogs. So I decided to point at the vehicle and point where I was going, and then I walked away.
Bob Bodell says he stayed inside the SUV while Haddock and his wife left on foot to get gas. But the people in the house, at the end of that dark driveway, called 911.
All right, tell me exactly what happened.
There's suspicious flashlight activity at the end of our driveway. Our dog's going crazy.
Recent trooper recruit Brian Glenn responded to the call. He had graduated from the academy 6 months prior and was working alone that night. Glenn's cruiser was equipped with a dash cam, but it was out of service. He did have a device to record audio. The trooper arrived to find a man sitting in the passenger seat of an SUV. Operating procedures for Alaska State Troopers state, officers shall make every effort to digitally record their interactions with the public. Recording prior to contacting the public is recommended.
I was sitting on the passenger side.
But the audio recording in Bodell's case begins after things get heated, and the trooper tells Bodell he's issuing a disorderly conduct warning.
I'm not asking.
What am I being charged with?
Right now, you're not being charged with anything. Right now, I'm just talking to you, okay?
So I'm done answering questions.
Bodell claims he had already told Trooper Glenn who he was, where he lived, how he had a prior head injury, and that he doesn't have a driver's license. But Trooper Glenn's report states Bodell refused to provide one or identify himself. The trooper also reported smelling alcohol and spotting a bottle of whiskey in Bodell's jacket pocket. Bodell claims Glenn kept insisting he was the one driving the vehicle, not waiting for his friends to get gas.
Right now, it sounds to me like you're lying to me, okay?
I give you my name and address.
Okay. Oh, some people are just walking down the street, giving me a ride, except that there's nobody walking down the street.
Bodell grew angry.
When I faced him, I said, no!
Spouting profanities before calling his friends on his cell phone, which he then handed over to the trooper to verify his story. Glenn spoke with Haddock, who confirmed he was getting gas. That's when Trooper Glenn took to the radio.
Any units in the area, there's 2 individuals passing an old KSRM. One of them's claiming to be the driver of this vehicle.
Bodell says that's when he decided to keep his mouth and the car doors shut.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to open the door for a minute, okay?
You wouldn't let me exercise my right to remain silent.
Within minutes, the incident escalated to this.
If you make any more noise, raise your voice, act a fool, okay, you're gonna be arrested for disorderly conduct.
Let me tell you something, mother.
Get on the ground now. Get on the ground now. On the ground now. Do not move. On your stomach. On your stomach.
The incident report confirms Bodell was maced, tased twice, and struck in the head and face by Trooper Glenn before being taken to the ground and handcuffed.
Right now you're under arrest for assault in the 4th degree and disorderly conduct.
Paramedics arrived to assess Bodell's condition.
Just so you know, he has no complaints, but he does have a little bit of a busted face. So I have no idea if he's got any underlying health conditions, I would imagine.
Trooper Glenn talked to his sergeant, Joseph Miller, about Bodell's medical treatment.
No, I gotta take him down to the hospital, get medical clear, huh?
No,
No.
not necessarily.
Right.
What's wrong with it? Got a little freaking nosebleed? Who gives a
They had my face down in the snow there, and they never took me to the hospital for being unconscious. They didn't take me to the hospital for that.
At the time, another trooper, Jacob Barker, was wrapping up a different call.
Hey, what's going on?
Barker set out to find Bodell's friends. His dash cam was working.
They're walking on the northbound shoulder.
The video shows Barker's cruiser reach 75 miles an hour, traveling through downtown Soldotna, and even higher speeds up to 97 miles an hour for 7 minutes while driving on dark, snow-covered roads. Trooper Barker did not use his flashing lights. It was a seemingly frantic search to find a couple walking down the road to get gas. A response the Department of Public Safety's commissioner says violates standard operating procedures.
He was in violation of our policy by not having his overheads and sirens there.
Trooper Barker eventually found Haddock and his wife, Katie.
All right, Eric, so how much have you had to drink tonight?
I had a beer like early.
Well, I'm smelling a lot of alcohol coming off of you.
My wife's been drinking all night.
Okay, well, just from what I'm smelling, I'm going to say a beer isn't honest.
It seemed at that point they were no longer interested in anything other than trying to find something to stick, a charge.
And there was a report of you having an alcohol bottle on you.
No alcohol.
When you were walking away.
Despite the fact Haddock was far away from his car, he agreed to a field sobriety test. Trooper recruit Joseph Robles, who graduated from the academy 2 months prior, conducted that test.
When did you have your first drink tonight?
When did I have my only drink? Gosh, around 4.
Around 4?
Yep.
Haddock was tested and apparently passed. Robles then stepped aside to consult with another trooper.
In this situation, would I be able to use a PBT to see if he has any alcohol in him?
So there isn't an arrest anyway, right?
No.
So what's the PBT matter?
I guess it doesn't really, because I have to make my decision before that. That's just to confirm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, drop
That's fine.
foot, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cold out that evening. They made me wait on the side of the road for over an hour and a half with my wife.
All right, Eric.
Eventually, Haddock and his wife were free to go. But that was not the case with Bodell, as he described in this YouTube video recorded 4 days after his arrest.
This is what happens when you exercise your rights to remain silent to the Alaska State Troopers.
Bodell would have to plead his case in court, and he was worried it was his word against the troopers.
That means I'm going to die in prison for nothing.
But this isn't the end of Bodell's story. 6 weeks after his arrest, a new witness comes forward, and the case takes an unexpected turn. Mike Mason brings us part 2 of the story tomorrow night at 6.